Hello, hello, and welcome to today's video. I want to start by saying that this can be a bit of a sensitive subject, especially if you have been really trying your hardest to stay consistent with goals that you've had written in that journal or in the back of your head for a really, really long time. There comes a point in all of our journeys where it's natural to question if what we're doing is even worth it. Is it still working? Should I give up? That is a natural part of the human experience. And so I want to just start off by saying that take a deep breath and just understand that it is totally okay if you are questioning whether you need to give up. But I also want to encourage you before you answer that, because again, you're the only person who can answer these questions for yourself. So before you decide, like, I need to call it, I want to equip you with some questions to think about and see if answering those questions helps you make your own decision. Okay? Key focus on your own decision. Before you decide anything, ask yourself a couple of questions and answer them for yourself so you make sure that you know about your own feelings and your own decision. Okay, so here are 4 questions that you can ask yourself before you decide to give up. The first question is, have I tried everything? Now, this is a really big question because normally the answer is no. You have not tried everything. There is a question of, have you tried everything based on the energy that you can continue to put out toward this goal? Have you tried everything based on what you're willing to do for this goal? So if you are answering this question from a place of, no, I have not tried everything, also think about what else you're willing to do to reach this goal. So if your answer is like, no, I'm just feeling impatient, or I'm forgetting that progress is not linear, or I'm wanting results based on somebody else's results. Think about what else you're willing to do to help you reach this goal. The next question is, are my expectations realistic? And this kind of piggybacks off of the first question. I like to think all of these 4 questions kind of go back on each other. So, are my expectations realistic? Meaning that for the effort that I am putting out, are the results that I'm expecting in alignment with my effort? And if the answer is no, it's time for you to focus more on what you can do in terms of effort to match those with your expectations and then to manage your expectations accordingly. So, have I tried everything? Are my expectations realistic? The third question is, what have I learned so far? And this is a helpful one. So I want you to spend a lot of time here because we often lose sight of the progress that we're making that's maybe not as quantifiable because we discount the lessons that we have learned along the way. So when you're thinking about whether to give up on a goal, don't forget to focus on what you've learned. What have you learned during the time that you've been working toward this goal that's made you a better person? That's helped you be more reflective, that's increased your self-awareness, that has just taught you more about yourself and what you like and what you don't like. So ask yourself, what have I learned in this process? And if what you've learned is worth it to you and you're seeing benefit in that, that may be enough to keep you moving forward, to keep you curious about what else you can learn. And the fourth and final question is this still my goal? Another really important one, because it's easy to get caught up in trying to do things based on somebody else's story. Something, especially in this like whole social media era, like we see what somebody else has and then we think we want that and then we start like heading in that direction. It's like squirrel, squirrel, shiny object. So is this still my goal? Anchors me to answer that question frankly. Is this something that I still want? Is this still worth it to me? And this kind of circles all the way back to question number 1, 2, and 3. Like, what have I learned for me? Are my expectations realistic for me? Have I tried everything for me? Is this still my goal? And then if this is not still your goal because you realize that you've been working towards somebody else's expectations, needs, desires, something that somebody else told you that you should do, then that may be a time for you to stop and check and decide what you do next. With all of the answers to all of these questions, it is your decision and yours alone to decide what to do from here. Because the goal with deciding is not to get it right. It's not to get it right, because most times you won't get it right. The goal is to make your own decision and to trust that you can handle the outcome. So 4 questions to ask yourself before you give up. Write them down. You're welcome to come back to this video and tell me how the thought process worked for you. But have I tried everything? Are my expectations realistic? What have I learned so far? Is this still my goal? Ask yourself those 4 questions before you're thinking about giving up.